I want to burn it all to the ground. If you have whispered this to yourself lately or screamed it inside your head, you are not alone. When business starts to feel heavy, overwhelming, or even suffocating, it's really easy to assume that you're doing something wrong, or that your strategy is broken, or that your offers are wrong, that you need to tear the whole business down and start again. And I have had this conversation, let me tell you, leading into recording this 4 times in the last week. But there is a deeper truth to what is going on here. And most of the time, it's not your business that is actually broken, it's the way that you're carrying it. So, today I am going to show you how to tell the difference between true misalignment and emotional congestion so that you can make clear decisions. And maybe that means burning it all down and pivoting and starting again. Or maybe you can make a clear decision without having to burn down something that's actually still meant for you. So, welcome back to Resource with Jessica Reed. This is where we don't just build a business, we build the emotional resilience to hold the business that we desire. This conversation was inspired by something that I see so often. It was inspired by 4 conversations that I have had in the last week and a place where I have so deeply been myself just only a few months ago. These are brilliant women hitting a wall of frustration and thinking that the only way out is to start over. And then they become quite paralyzed in their business when this is happening. But emotional heaviness doesn't automatically mean misalignment. It can often mean that your body is overwhelmed, that your nervous system is signaling that something in the way that you're running your business or something that you are currently doing needs to change, or a way that you are currently thinking, the person you are currently being needs to change. So, today we are going to talk about 3 hidden reasons why your business might be feeling heavy to you right now, how emotional congestion masquerades as misalignment, and how to recalibrate your business without actually having to collapse it all. And P.S., if you have been tempted recently to burn it all down, then pause. Okay, let's have this conversation first and then make your decisions once you've been able to give yourself some clarity, but also a little bit of maybe a different lens as well. So, here is what is happening when emotional congestion builds up. Your nervous system starts to see your business as a threat. It's not seeing the hard client or the algorithm or even the launching as a threat, but the business itself. And in a way, it starts whispering, this isn't safe for me anymore. This is too much to carry. I cannot keep doing it all this way. And so you hit a wall. You hit a wall where you're questioning every decision, where you are spiraling at every no, where you're second guessing your pricing, your content, your offers. You dread the work that used to light you up, and you can become quite frozen in this, completely detached from the business, but not in a way that is going to allow you to move forward. And because no one taught you how to recognize the emotional congestion, you assume that the only solution is to burn the whole thing down. I'm not meant for this, obviously, not meant to be, and let's just burn it all to the ground and either start again or run away. Are you hearing a little bit of a fight or flight response in this? Because emotional weight is not the same as misalignment. And often, when we are in that emotional weight, that is blocking our body from being able to feel whether we are even in misalignment or not. And collapsing is not the same as gaining clarity. So let's look at some reasons now why your business might be starting to feel heavy for you, or maybe it's been accumulating for a long period of time. When I work with women inside my mastermind, inside my private mentoring, 9 times out of 10, the heaviness is coming from one of these 3 places. So let's have a little bit of an explore now as to what those places are and see if maybe that's where you are at the moment too. So, place number 1 is that you haven't actually grown into the version of you that can hold this yet. You're still leading with the energy of an old identity. And by the way, if this is you, I have a very special new program coming. I want you to reach out to me and ask to go on the waitlist for the Ascension Academy. Okay, this is where you are building from the version of you who had to hustle, who had to overgive or had to prove her worth. You're building something bigger now, but you're carrying it with the survival patterns that have gotten you through up until now. And so as a result of this, everything feels heavier than it needs to. So the solution to this is that the work is internal, the work is within you. The work is building the nervous system that can actually hold the business, the beliefs, the identity that can hold the business. Again, this is the work we'll be doing in the Ascension Academy. The second reason that I see is that you're actually running without clarity. You have been doing everything, all the things. And I know so many people say that in their content now. Oh, you've been doing all the things, but I really mean that. You're doing everything that you know about, everything in the way that you have been taught or reverse engineered for your own self how to do it. And quite often, when we are doing all these things, we are actually running our business from a past version of ourselves who has come from a workplace or a situation where doing is very celebrated and where your worth is often quite attached to outcomes. And when you're running a business without clarity, without knowing where your daily focus should be, where your weekly focus should be, what you're currently launching, what your launch current runway is, what the goal is in your business, then you're posting, you're launching, you're selling without a clean focus, which means you're probably not selling much at all. And then you are going to feel heavy in your business. Your energy is leaking out everywhere because you don't actually know, maybe you haven't been taught yet, what is really going to move that needle for you. And so as a result, you're exhausted, but you're exhausted from busyness and likely addicted to busyness at some level as well. You're not exhausted from expansion. It's not a satisfying type exhaustion. So there is a solution to this as well. Now, I shared a post the other day on Instagram and I said you could comment CEO and I would send you my weekly. It's my visionary dashboard and it literally dictates what I need to focus on in my business. What is priority to move the needle forward once you have set your goals? Once you know what your core focus is for the next 90 days, for the next year, once you have that core focus, then step number 6 of my activation pathway, which I have, so vision activation method, which I have shared about in a couple of episodes back. Step number 6 is about that CEO level action. Okay, it is the implementation. It is the focusing on the right things. But if you don't know what those right things are yet, that's okay. That is work that we can do together. That is work we can do in my mastermind. That is work we can do in a one-on-one. You can get a free copy if you'd like. Just come and ask me or go. You can find the post where I spoke about it and comment CEO, or you can come into my DMs and say, hey, Jess, I would like a copy of the Visionary Dashboard because I don't know what you don't need to say this, but because I don't know what I need to focus on each week because I'm actually creating so much and I'm creating so many things that I'm not even launching because I don't know where to put my focus because I'm so busy in the details and in the business that I'm not working in my zone of genius. And my income, my bank account is not a direct reflection of how much effort and energy that I am putting in. So that would be a really great place to start. And if you are unsure of what your focus actually is, what your growth focus is, and what you should be doing, we can do that in a private one-on-one. We can do it in a one-off session if you like, or we can work together long-term. But there are options, there are solutions. If you are unclear in your business, then that is going to be your very first step. And the third reason that I see this happening, that burn it all down energy, is because you have actually outgrown this version of your business. And so, yes, sometimes the heaviness is really real because you have evolved. But your messaging, your office, your business structure, it hasn't caught up yet. And your body knows that. And so you've got this huge incongruence. It's just the opposite way around to the first one that we were talking about. where your identity hasn't caught up with your business. So the result of this is that you feel trapped in a container that no longer matches who you are, likely no longer matches the dream life that you want to be creating through this vehicle, which is your business. So I want you to sit with that. 1, 2, or 3. If you have outgrown your current business, you have permission to pivot. You do have permission to evolve your offers, whether that means burning it all down or whether that means allowing for a death and a rebirth of the way that an offer currently is, the way that you deliver it. Maybe it's your whole offer suite. Maybe it's the whole way that you work with someone. Maybe it's a death and a rebirth of the paradigms that you have been operating from, or a death of the lack of clarity and lack of focus. And that likely comes with a belief around you still being in that kind of hobbyist side hustle mindset, because that lack of clarity, that comes with you knowing that there are CEO level moves to make, that there are key analytics to focus on, that there are certain things in your business that need your time and attention and your focus to make that growth happen. And if you don't know what they are, then how can you focus on them? So allow the death and the rebirth to happen in whichever way it needs to. So maybe we're burning it all down. Maybe we're burning something down. Maybe it's internal again. Maybe it's something that you've created, but it might not be in the burn down way that your fried nervous system is telling you that it needs to be. So take a moment to actually just come into your body. Sit outside, put your feet in the grass, close your eyes, sit with yourself, and really check in. Where am I actually at with this? Have I outgrown my business? Has my business outgrown me? Am I clear? And then come down to, what am I actually burning down? Because not every time you feel heavy means that you have to just blow it up. Not every time you feel heavy means you should just run away from it all. Notice the paradigm that you are feeding. Notice what story you are feeding. Paradigm is just a deep-seated belief that determines our behavior and our actions. So notice what you are feeding every time you go, oh, I can't do this. I should just let it all go. I'm not cut out for this. Whatever your stories are, it'll never work for me. Oh, I'm so sick and frustrated. I just need to blow it all up. It's time to listen and allow yourself to have some guidance if that is what you need. Because that heaviness is information, just the same in your life. It's the same in your business. There is communication. You are co-creating with an energy here. So this wisdom comes in knowing what it is trying to tell you. So if you are resonating with this, again, I want you to pause before you pivot, before you just scrap the offer, before you redo the brand, before you shut it all down. I know particularly I have an emotional authority, and if I don't ride that out, then I will make very misaligned decisions in my business based on impulse. I encourage you to really connect with, how do I make my decisions? Come into your body and ask yourself, am I tired from this strategy? Does my business model actually support me? If you're working part-time and you're trying to see 10 clients a week just to make your business successful, and you're trying to do all of the things that you need to do to keep those clients coming in, of course, your business model might not be the most effective way to support you right now. Am I tired from the strategy, or am I tired from the way that I'm holding myself through it? And then allow yourself tend to that emotional congestion before you make your decisions. You want to come to a place of neutrality. Let yourself feel the frustration, the disappointment, the fear. You can use techniques like tapping, breath work, somatic anchoring. These aren't optional things. These are priority. Your nervous system and your emotional health is priority in your business. So these are the bridge back to clear, grounded decision making, clear, grounded leadership, so that you can actually make those decisions then from a place of expansion, place of clarity, a place of neutrality, rather than a space of contraction. and a fight or flight response type emotional brain decision, which is what the burn it all down essentially is. And again, sometimes the burn it all down can actually be exciting, but it depends on that energy behind needing or wanting to burn it all down. So then once your body is regulated, then you decide, is this business still aligned with my next level? Or is it time to let a part of it evolve? And that's the death and the rebirth that we're talking about. Maybe it's time to let a part of me evolve. One comes from clarity, the other comes from reaction. So you at least owe yourself and your business the time to tell the difference. So you don't have to burn it all down necessarily. You don't have to throw away the vision. Your vision has likely grown. So let's bring it all into alignment. You do have to release, though, the emotional weight that is suffocating your clarity, and then allow yourself to move forward from this emotional sovereignty rather than panic, stress. So I'm going to leave you with some reflection questions as we finish up today. You can journal these. I'll put them in the show notes. Where am I mistaking emotional exhaustion for business failure? Where am I leaking energy out of old survival patterns? And where does my next level require me to evolve, not burn down? Now, if this has landed for you, as I've mentioned throughout this episode, there are ways that we can work together to clear the emotional congestion and lead from this place of grounded overflow instead of collapse. So we can work privately. As I mentioned, we can do a one-off breakthrough call, which is a great sort of first step into private mentorship, get that one-off clarity piece and really answer these questions. Do I need to burn it all down? What is going on for me? If you're looking for more that long-term support and implementing that leverage strategy as well as looking after yourself, then we can look at private mentorship. We can look at the mastermind. And if you know that work is internal, you already have that awareness, then let's get you on the wait list for the Ascension Academy. So if this episode has resonated with you, I would love to hear from you. Pop over to my DMs and let me know how this felt, how this landed. And I really look forward to having another conversation with you guys next week. And until then, have the best day. If you're listening, the best evening. I'll see you all next week.